And welcome to the Bastards post-game Red Sox show. I am your host, Nick. In here tonight again is Terry. We have the same crew like we had from last night. We were all singing a happy tune last night. We were all drifting off into happy land, closed our eyes, feeling good about our team, and now we want to go put our heads up against the wall. After that, atrociousness tonight. Red Sox lose by a score of 3-0 against the Oakland A's. Offense didn't show up, Terry. The defense was atrocious in the second inning. 3 errors given up. Big pile of slop.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Cora chose Jacques to be the opener, and didn't go so well. Ryan Noda, I think, hit a solo, and then JJ Bleday hit a 2-run shot, and that was all the scoring. That was all the scoring that there was, and Red Sox bats kind of quiet. I think, yeah, I definitely picked the Red Sox to sweep the series, but I did concede that game 2 was the most winnable for Oakland, and they pulled it out. Medina was phenomenal. So
I am struggling right now with the modern era of baseball, with thinking that it's A-okay to throw out these opener, 1 inning, 2 inning, whatever the hell kind of pitchers there are on teams that have the money, that are very much in contention for playoff berth, season in, season out. It's a struggle when you even have a guy who I was clamming for last night. Why the hell was Kyle Barraclough not throwing tonight? Why?
well, I mean, you would have had to have put him on the 40 man. I don't think it. I don't have that up in front of me. Probably wouldn't have been too much trouble to DFA someone to make room, but
Mm-hmm.
I my only guess is we're 4 or 5-0 against Oakland coming into today, and they just thought if you could get the ball to Chris Murphy, that should be good enough, and they should be able to score runs.
Why wouldn't you just start Chris Murphy? If you were Cora or you were the manager of the Red Sox and you had the opportunity to put Chris Murphy into that spot to start the game, would you have? If that's what you were given.
It's hard. I mean, I wouldn't hate that move. I mean, he was trash in Worcester, and so that's why you're getting the bulk inning, as Nesson likes to call it, the bulk innings. But I don't know. You just didn't really have many good options. I don't know if there was a better option to open. I mean, maybe could Bernardino do 2 innings back to back days? That could have been a possibility, but um, Brandon Walter hasn't really panned out. I mean, the Red Sox just haven't done a very good job developing starting pitching outside of Bayo, and that's the Achilles heel. And Bloom told one of the beat writers, I think it was Cotillo, that they are targeting a back end starter.
Yeah.
So that's Bloom's favorite end, apparently, is the back end.
Well, don't you worry, Terry, because I have news. I have news to share with you.
Oh,
Corey Kluber's coming back, so there's your back end starter right there. So Bloom's already got his trade deadline bargained by the bag full right there. It's screaming right at you, folks. It's right there. He's going to anchor that 5th spot. You're going to love him.
makes
As
perfect
I
sense.
get my puke bucket.
As I was watching Medina, I was like, is Bloom gonna go to Billy Bean's office, knock on the door, and say, "Hey, Billy, what do you want for
Don't
Medina?"
be
I
surprised.
don't know. Yeah, his numbers haven't been great overall, but I guess he's pitched pretty well lately. But that would be the type of move. People are going to be looking at Oakland. They're going to be looking at St. Louis. There's definitely 1 or 2 other teams that are escaping me right now that teams will be calling about to try to add some of their pitching. So,
Well, I know a couple of the names. It's Jordan Montgomery's out there, Eduardo Rodriguez. Those are some names that at least have started to get the conversation started there. Do they move the needle that much? I don't know. I
I
just don't
think
think that this is. You would take Erod.
We'll
See,
take
that would be the one that I'd consider with, because at least he's familiar with where he's going to. At least you have a guy that knows the system, knows the team, knows the expectations, so and knows what it is to be a Red Sox. That I would entertain.
We talked about this on the regular podcast. One of it was either Charlie or Cody raised that question, and I would take him. You know, some people would be quick to say, well, he didn't get along well with Alex Cora. Well, he took some shots at the Red Sox defense when he was being introduced to the Detroit market. But you're not so much getting a pitcher that's going to cost a major haul. You're essentially bailing Detroit out of that contract. So it wouldn't be too costly. It might be tricky for the remainder of the year because of the luxury tax. So maybe Detroit has to eat some money, but it's a little complicated. But in short, I would take Erod back because I know he's going to pitch well in big games, pitched well in the World Series. There's familiarity there. You know what you're getting with Erod.
And then we don't have to sit here and stomach another one of these Joe Jakes or whatever the hell his name is starting for an inning and being trash. We need legitimate people if we are going to make a run here in the playoffs. It's just how I feel. You're not going to win the whole thing with doing this whole opening stuff. It just looks embarrassing and cheap.
Yeah, I mean, if you want the glass half full, I mean, we have sort of weathered the storm without Chris Sale, without Garrett Whitlock. I mean, we've surged without them. Yeah. And Sale's throwing bullpens now. I guess Whitlock is playing long toss. You're going to get Houck back as well. And he's probably further along than the other two. So you will get bodies back, and if you could just tread water for a little bit. Trevor Story will be playing
this weekend
in Portland, doing some rehab starts. So you can make the case that they could really get a footing on this wild card situation, but the schedule is getting tougher. I know you got the Mets; they're a dumpster fire, but I haven't looked at where Verlander and Scherzer fall yet. But we got some tougher opponents coming up. You have Atlanta, you got San Francisco, who's actually having a pretty decent year, and then Seattle.
It's not gonna be a cupcake.
Seattle to follow them, so it gets real, coming up. So
what we will do, I'm going to try to forget about tonight's game. I'm going to turn the page because at least you have some positive news with Brian Bayo going tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. It's a afternoon game, getaway game, final game of the series with Bayo up against, where's Waldo? His name is Ken Waldachuk. Who do you got?
Oh, I'm taking Bayo. That's an automatic win.
I was going to take Mr. Woodchuck. No, definitely going with Bayo. Bayo's got to give us the series win on this. This is a must. Get us out of Oakland. Get out that trash heap. Sorry, Oakland fans, if there are any anymore. Sorry, that was another knock at them. But get out of there at least with 2 out of 3. Get the job done, and then bring on the Mets.
That's what'll happen. And one final note on tonight: everybody in front of us in the wild card race pretty much lost. So it was kind of a blown opportunity for us. Yeah, Rays, Baltimore, Yankees, Houston lost, I think.
Yep, all 4 did lose. I saw that little tweet that Tom Caron put out right before we started the show, but that is accurate. Everybody did. Bunch of losers tonight. Hopefully we turn our page, like I said, and get that victory to finish off the series for tomorrow. We will see you all again for the post game for tomorrow night. We will see you all soon. Have a good night.